Good evening, friends, and welcome to an unscheduled live stream. We will go live with breaking news. A active shooter report about 40 minutes ago in New York City, 345 Park Avenue to be exact. The shooter is down. I grabbed Ed Wallace and we went live as quickly as we could. It was in the middle of dinner. I got numerous calls, but it looks like somebody with a long gun walked into 345 Park Avenue and took his own life on the 33rd floor. Ed, your thoughts on what we're seeing, some breaking and preliminary news. I know there's a lot of information out there, but just wanted to get your thoughts before we start.
Yeah, well, right now we know very little of what's breaking. I mean, I've been watching it on the news. I've been seeing things and footage and hearing various news reports from the New York Post, Fox News, other venues. What I've heard so far, excuse me, is a suspect drove up in what appeared to be some kind of luxury car in front of Park Avenue and got out and retrieved what looks like an AR style rifle, possibly suppressed with a
silencer,
standard, suppressed with a 30 round, possible 30 round magazine, and wearing civilian clothes, sneakers, a jacket, a button down shirt, sunglasses. As for pedigree, it looked like possible African American or dark skinned male with slight afro and goatee type situation, and walked into a building, into the lobby of and where there were apparently several off-duty NYPD police officers providing security on what's called paid detail when they're off-duty and they get contracted by the company to provide security there through the NYPD, and fired upon them. And preliminarily, if you go to the New York Post website, they're reporting that possibly one of the NYPD officers was in fact killed. Not sure. That's what they're reporting, folks. So don't hold me to it. Yep. And then they went up to, in the elevator, went up to the 33rd floor and shot two more people and then took his own life there. They're saying, they're reporting that he sustained a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah, let's take a listen to some local reporting. This is from News Nation, and then we're going to go local to Fox 5 here in New York.
We're going back to that breaking news out of New York City. Police are responding to reports of an active shooter at a building in Midtown Manhattan that houses the NFL. You see officers running into that building. The gunman reportedly shot one police officer and two civilians. That's according to our sister station, WPIX. New York City Mayor Adams confirming the shooting on X. He has warned people not to go outside near Park Avenue and East 51st Street. This is a live look at the scene. Joining me now by phone, Joe Carnali, retired NYPD Lieutenant Commander. Commander, always good to see you. So we see the NYPD running in. I understand the area is locked down. They have issued a shelter in place. Where does the investigation go from here?
I'm going to just pause this because obviously that was just from probably a half hour ago. But I saved Channel 5 Live, which I want to go to that now while we're on here and just see what they have as the update. Let's take a listen in. Fox 5 New York. All right, so this is a live look into Midtown. Looks like things have calmed down quite a bit. I'm going to take it back to about...
We're at Lexington and 50th, where this happened, and they pushed us back. Where this happened is one block that way, 51st, and about halfway up the block. And it was one of the side entrances to the building. Now, Matt, who works with us, we've worked with each other for more than 20 years. He was on his way home from work. And so, Matt, I want you to describe, because not many people got to see what you got to see. Talk to me about it.
Yeah. I was walking home, going to Grand Central, take the train home, and about 6:20. And all of a sudden, I had headphones on, and all of a sudden, just a rush of people were running past me, and more so than just a couple of people. So I took my headphones off and somebody said gunshots, shooting. And I turned back and I saw some people, it quieted down for a second, and some people were walking back towards 51st Street. So I started walking back to check it out. I saw officers with their guns drawn. I immediately called Fox 5 and talked to our news director and said there's something going on. And then I just got my phone out and I started shooting video of just the officers around the Bank of America building, about to go in, just hiding behind trees and the planters that were there. And then they ended up going into the side entrance, and then a few minutes later, people started coming out. People that looked like they worked in the building, running out, and then 4 officers came out, and they were carrying what looked like to me another officer that looked injured. That they're carrying him by arms and legs, and carrying him to an ambulance or to a police car.
They were running, basically.
Yeah, and it went on for a while. The police had their guns drawn for a long time, and nobody knew what to do. So people were just still milling about 51st Street. I did hear a few gunshots, and then officers started flooding the area and then pushing people back, and that's where we are right now. Is more than ambulance and officers just started coming into the area.
Now, you and I have seen, because one of our colleagues was able to get a picture of the suspect. There's 2 pictures of him, and he looks like a guy, it looks like he's about late 30s, early 40s. He's wearing dark sunglasses. He's got black curly hair. He looks to be like he's dressed like a hip guy, and he's wearing a blazer, a collared shirt that's either white or light blue, jeans and sneakers. And he is carrying what has been told to us is an AR-15. Carrying it like this. Now, I don't know if you can see, and now an AR-15 would go from like here on me up to about here. In broad daylight, walking down Park Avenue and going through an esplanade that is normally a very busy area at that time of night because people are on their way home from work, and you're in Midtown, lots of financial industries here along Park Avenue. Walking with purpose, and you can see the intenseness on his face. He was on his way to do something, and you get the same feel looking at those pictures.
I mean, that area was wide open too. So walking with an AR-15 down Park Avenue, you wonder if he got out of a car right there or how far he was walking. It was a big, wide open area, and there's nobody else around him. And you can see from that security photo, it's just him, and it does look like an AR-15 rifle. And when I was taking videos, I talked to one eyewitness that said he spoke to a woman that was sitting right there. She saw somebody walk in with an AR-15, and she heard automatic fire. And that's what she told this gentleman.
Okay, now the building that we're talking about, again, is right around the block from where we are. 2 of the primary businesses that are in that building, the NFL, which it was reported that they told their employees to shelter in place when all of this was happening, and also Blackstone, a financial company. Again, this is along Park Avenue here in Midtown. Lots of financial companies here. They're not just down on Wall Street.
Okay, so Ed, I think that might be the front. No, that's not it. It's definitely not it. I'm going to go to Fox News Live.
Yeah. Fox News is reporting that 6 people have been shot, 2 of which were police officers, and I don't know if that 6 includes the gunman. And they're also reporting that one of those police officers didn't make it. Now, I pray that's not the case, but if he does, rest in peace, and prayers to his family, prayers for all to recover. Somebody asked in the chat about our vests. Our vests were not designed to stop 223 or 5.56 millimeter NATO ammunition that might be fired out of an AR style rifle. So our standard patrol vests aren't designed to stop that round.
Let's go to this, Ed, here. This is going to give
when you talk to them about what was going on. Were they responsive?
No, I mean, I was, as soon as I realized that, because it took me a second to realize, wait a minute, I have other people here too. And so I started calling people up. Thankfully, they were okay. Some people didn't come in today, which is great. But no, I mean, it was just straight panic, as soon as I heard it.
And what, you said 3 hours. What's going through your mind when you're in there and you're watching everything unfold?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't getting much news or information at all, as far as like from the company. I mean, obviously we're just kind of there staying put and trying to hear what's happening. But I did hear from friends, and I heard from certain news articles online that basically what was happening, an active gunman walked in and he walked straight into a building. We weren't for sure, like we didn't know whether it was our building at first, so we were, it was straight panic right off the bat as far as just being concerned. But then once, even regardless, it was right next to us, so it was just really scary.
There's been images of that individual walking around with that weapon, with that assault rifle.
Yeah, I saw that picture, yeah.
And when you saw that, and you're seeing that that's just a door over.
Yeah, no, I mean, those same steps, that same area, I walked through that.
All right, so this is security footage, Ed. As you know, there's hundreds, thousands of video camera, shooting live especially on Park Avenue, but throughout Manhattan. And this is him. He's walking through like a courtyard here, where he probably came straight from the street here, and he's not hiding it. He's just holding it down at his side, walking. This had to have been a targeted shooting because he went directly up to the 33rd floor. We'll find out more information, but there's many more than what was initially reported, wounded and or killed as it pertains. This is a 223 round, usually in these weapons, and it's a vicious round. It does not stop. A bulletproof vest does not stop it, right, Ed?
Well, not these vests. Our vests, our standard vests do not. There are bigger vests that you can wear, steel plates, ceramic plates, that will stop that round. So it's either 223 or 5.56, right. And it's traveling, close to 3,300 feet per second. Right. It's a very fast round, but it's a very small round. It's about the size of a .22 caliber, but it's not the mass; it's the velocity. So it's the speed of this bullet that causes devastating injuries.
Yeah. And you know what? Somebody in the chat saying I thought he shot a security guard. He could have shot a security guard, but he definitely shot a New York City police officer off duty who was working the paid detail. And New York Post is reporting that police officer has passed away. So we're going to hear more. Let me just take a listen in here.
They just tell me that they couldn't. It took a while for it to sink in what was going on, and then when they got the details of what was going on, as they got them slowly, similar to how we did, then it started to sink in, and they knew it was a really serious situation. Shad there, similar to other witnesses, that similar one we told you about, who was watching things unfold from the top. He showed me some of the video of it, and it looked like that black BMW in question in the middle of it, that was connected to everything that was going on. That's the latest here in Midtown so far, Natasha.
All right, Kendall, thank you so much. Yeah, if you're just joining us, a really scary situation out in Midtown Manhattan. At least 2 people have been shot by a gunman who we do have pictures of, just seen casually walking in with a weapon by his side. We're hearing reports that it was an AR-15. This is all happening at 51st and Park Avenue, that entrance there. A number of major businesses in the building where the shooting took place, the NFL headquarters, JP Morgan, Blackstone. So a lot of hedge funds, law firms, like a lot of financial institutions in that area. This unfolding around 6:10 p.m., end of the workday. A lot of people going home. It's a very transient area. There's a subway station, 53rd and Lex nearby. And look at this video. I mean, you can see police running to that building where the shooting happened with their guns drawn. And at some point, you can even see other people, and looks like just employees. I mean, you think about these buildings have hundreds of employees just running out. We've talked to a number of people who were, evacuated.
We have heard some things, mainly that our police sources tell us that he was brought here after the shooting. It was being treated. We do not know the specific nature of his injuries that we can share. One source said it was that the officer was in very bad shape, possibly with a gunshot wound to the chest, if not.
This was 8:26, so it's only 8:32. So this is just a little while ago, and they still don't have updates. At least Fox 5 doesn't.
More. That has yet to be confirmed by the NYPD. As for the scene here, police officials continue to arrive. As we said, at this point, it was about 15 minutes ago that the president of the PBA, which is the Police Benevolent Association, arrived here at the scene. and that is the union that represents patrolmen, which we are told from sources that this officer is. We're told this officer might have his regular duty in the Bronx at a precinct up there, but was serving in a paid capacity as additional security at that building because, as you pointed out, there are some very important financial institutions and other organizations that are in that building. Right now, police continue to arrive here. You're going to see some people come around the corner over here. It is very tense out here, which does not bode well for how things are probably going on upstairs. There's no sense that anybody's relaxed or relieved. Quite the opposite at this point. And that continues to be the scene here, if that answers your question.
So he's outside of the hospital, obviously. Ed, we have a special guest. Mason Ant is in the green room. She's going to be joining us, retired NYPD sergeant. I know she probably has information from maybe some of her sources and so forth. So welcome to the stage. I hate to have you join us on such horrible circumstances. Your thoughts on the shooting that took place just around 6:10 p.m. our time.
Greetings all. Hi, Ed. Hi, Ron. And everyone here, thank you for being here. I found this out late when I called you, Ronnie. I came in and I didn't have the TV on and my phone was on silent. And as soon as I got the call that I received was actually that the police officer did die. I didn't even know there was a shooting. I was disconnected. I didn't want to spread a rumor, so I called you, Ronnie, just to tell you what I preliminarily heard. And as I got the information that this officer is from the Bronx, I won't disclose name or precinct, but not far from where I used to work. He was doing paid detail off duty. For those who don't know what paid detail is, a lot of people watch movies and they call it moonlighting. And allegedly he was in the lobby when this individual came in and did this. I missed the first 5 minutes of what you guys said, so I don't want to repeat. But based on what I heard outside looking in, because I'm really getting it all from you as usual, is that with this person, allegedly, I heard he was neutralized from one network, and then I heard he died by suicide in another network. But I think, Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, once he saw that officer in the lobby, he knew that he wasn't coming out alive. What do you think, Ed?
Well, we don't know who he is and what his connection to this is. Again, one news station is reporting that he said, free Palestine. There was, also conflicting reports about his pedigree information. Some are saying possibly dark-skinned male African-American. Others are saying dark-skinned male, possible dark-skinned Asian. I'm not sure. You got to take it. I'm listening to the radio too, the police frequency for Midtown, and that was, I heard initial reports of that as well.
Yeah, let me just hear what they have to say, because this was from 8:32. We're not too far behind. It's not too far behind us. So let's just take a listen.
This shooter is walking with purpose, wearing a business suit, sunglasses, with just unbelievable to have an AR-15, a weapon like that out, just walking in. Feels very eerie, feels casual. And the middle of the day, I guess, Arthur, paint a picture of what it feels like when you look at this picture, knowing that this is happening after 6 o'clock, people are getting out of work, and it's just a scary, scary ordeal.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a place where people would go and have lunch and sit outside. There's a guy sitting on the wall right here, and he's just casually walking by at 6:10, I believe, was the time, or 6-ish. The shooting, I think, occurred or the call came over at 6:10. So this had to be, somewhere around that time. Pretty scary, because even if you had a sidearm, you'd have to be a really good shot and take this guy out right away, because if he raised that rifle and shot at you and took multiple shots, chances are you're not going to be, if he hits you, you're not going to be surviving, because those rounds are devastating. As Ed said, over 3,300 feet per second. And those 223 rounds are huge. They're big. I have them upstairs. So,
I'm wondering, I'm looking at the CCTV and the yellow box that's around the suspect. I'm wondering if the security personnel in this location had the software to identify potential suspects with firearms, and then that box comes up around that suspect, because I've seen software that does that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great technology that
Yes.
identifies. So it could be, Ed. But I want to just listen to see if there was any confirmation of things that we are hearing through our sources and through PBA and others. I reached out to my good friend John Comer. He's probably at the scene here at the hospital. But let's listen to
Third Avenue and Lexington Avenue. So for this location to be chosen, it really boggles the mind. I obviously feel very badly for the people who had to sort of wake up to this reality of what was happening around there for him. But that is, there are parts of the city that probably have higher crime rates. That is not one of them.
I'm gonna try to go.
All right. There was
Okay, that was
for
live.
those who are saying the 223 or the 5.56, the bullet is the size of a 22, but the cartridge case contains a lot more powder and is much larger than a 22 round. So that's what I was saying, that it is the bullet was around the size of a 22, and Ron was saying that the cartridge, it's considered a medium cartridge, but the cartridge is much larger than a 22 and it holds more powder. That's why it's able to get that kind of muzzle velocity out of that small round.
Yeah.
We're not saying that it's a big, huge cartridge.
When they go in the gun and you put them in the magazine, they're like that. So, because like you said, it has a lot of gunpowder in there, so it could push that, push the bullet. I want to try to speak in, layman's terms, out of the barrel at a high rate of speed. So let's listen to this live.
NYPD Attorney General Pam Bondi said that the DOJ, the FBI, working here with local authorities with this investigation now tonight, and this scene is not going to be cleared up for at least hours. Now, one thing I can say, and I think you probably agree with me, that things are much calmer here now because everybody knows that the shooter has been neutralized. So there is a totally different feeling right now. Don't you agree?
Yes, absolutely. But also, too, there was a feeling of like people couldn't really believe what was going on. So people didn't just, initially people ran when they heard gunfire and ran past me, which caused my attention. But then some people were kind of loitering around, not believing what was going on, maybe. Even though we saw officers with their guns drawn, there were still people kind of hanging around 51st Street. And then once time went on and more officers came, they started pushing people back to get out of the way and make room for other vehicles.
At this point, you hear the helicopter. They're flying over.
Aviation.
They're flying over, so the folks who are watching outside of New York City, to make sure that there's no other additional perpetrators, to make sure that there's no other additional action or activity going on. So they're actually the eyes from above in the sky for the officers on the ground. Anybody goes up to the roof, they're going to see them up on the roof, and so forth. We've seen this many times as New York City police officers. So that's standard, that one or two helicopters are up from our aviation unit, covering all different areas and all different angles of this scene. And again, it's in Manhattan, so on Park Avenue. It's a very busy place. Some of these businesses are 24 hours, and they have not traditional 9 to 5 hours. So that's why they're up in the air.
And SWAT team and all things like that.
See, and the thing too, you're talking about other people not really realizing what's going on and then having to be pushed back. Gus, I want you to go ahead. I want you to show this crowd of people here. Now, again, this is the northeast corner, and we are at Lexington and 50th Street. And they've probably got, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 people over there. These people are now just standing around. For most of them, they're here because they're curious about what is going on. Obviously, they've seen a lot on social media, so they've heard about what's going on here. And then a lot of people then in situations like this race to scenes like this because they're curious. They want to see what's happening. They want to be able to get their own videos and post their videos. And some of this turns into a problem for the police because then they try to cross police lines. We saw that earlier. Gus got some video of a couple of people getting arrested because police at that point didn't know what was going on. They just knew there was an active shooter, and they kept trying to push people, not physically push them, but direct them away from the area that was dangerous, and people weren't listening to them. So they had to take a couple of people, at least that we saw, into custody. Natasha, back to you. You have any questions?
Yeah, Linda, I have to say that when I first got reports of this shooting, my heart stopped because my sister used to work in that area with a private equity firm, and there are a lot of financial institutions in that building, 345 Park. I have a number of friends who texted me. One of my friends just left the building right before this scene unfolded. And also I'm seeing, you said this earlier, looking at that picture of that suspect just kind of casually walking into that pavilion on 51st and Park, business suit, wearing sunglasses, AR-15 by his side. But what did you feel when you first saw that picture?
It was stunning to me. I mean, you would think after all of the things that I've seen in this news business that I wouldn't be stunned. But I still am. When I see something like that, it's jaw-dropping, because you see this man and he's very, he's put together. He's got a cool look to him. His hair, he's got the sunglasses on. He's got a nice blazer or collared shirt. He's got dark pants. It looks like blue jeans. It looks like a nice pair of sneakers. And then he's on Park Avenue of all places, with an AR-15 at 6 o'clock at night, just walking around. But he was also, it wasn't casual. It was a look of, he had a sense of purpose. Obviously he did, because he had an AR-15 with him.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's a really scary situation as people are getting out of work, heading home.
And I want to talk about.
Hey, Ron.
Sorry.
Ron?
Yep.
CNN is reporting that they've identified this guy as a 27-year-old male from Nevada, Las Vegas, and that he had an expired private investigator's license, and he has a concealed carry license out there. So it's in multiple law enforcement sources are telling them that.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to CNN right now just to go to their website real quick. Let's see what they got live.
Dawn Marie said she texted you, DutyRon, that
I
some
saw
information.
I saw it. Yeah, so, I mean, look, a lot of this information will be changing as the hours go by, as the minutes go by. Until the NYPD has a press conference, we take this all with not just, I don't want to say a grain of salt, but we take it at face value. But until the press conference comes and some of the things get confirmed, I don't like to just jump on them. Again, in the middle of rush hour, 5 to 6 to 7 o'clock is rush hour in Manhattan. People are coming, going. Most people are going home, but that doesn't mean that everyone's going home. This guy was able to walk into 345 Park Avenue with an AR-style rifle. If he was challenged and someone tried to stop him, because everyone's got to be keyed in, you can't just walk into these buildings. Or get to the elevators, you need to have check in. So I don't know if there was a shooting event in the lobby, and as he traversed through that building, I don't know. We don't have any information coming from anybody at this time. Is there any information as it pertains to a press conference, or are they're not saying anything?
I haven't seen anything scheduled. I haven't seen anything reported about when the press conference is. I know Adams made a statement about staying away from the area. Other than that, that's it. Also, CNN is reporting that the officer was shot in the back.
And right now, one of the other news networks, I think it's Fox, has Inspector Morrow, retired NYPD, commenting. And supposedly there's a conference tentative for 9:30. I can't verify. I'm just back and forth looking. The mayor's on the way to the hospital. And as we know, when a member of service is shot and killed, they do a processional. It would happen probably too quickly, right, Ed? Because of the events unfolding. It's live. Of note, on the, not the promenade, on the landing that this shooter walked in. Go, Ron.
No, it's okay.
I did notice, I worked one block from there. I used to work at Saks Fifth Avenue on 5th Avenue and 50th. And Ed, I wanted to mention, don't you think counterterrorism is at St. Patrick's Cathedral, sweeping that whole area because of the landmark?
Well, they have fixed posts there now.
There.
So they're all around there.
I figured they'd sweep the area. Just for our viewers to know, this is 2 blocks from the infamous Rockefeller Center Christmas tree and the St. Patrick's Cathedral. I used to work over there. What I did notice about the shooter, what appears targeted, he came after office hours, traditional office hours, and after, as you mentioned, DutyRon, where people are usually sitting and eating, but it is a hot day. So it appears that he intentionally and casually walked in very calculating, right? Not just recklessly looking. He looks like he's looking for someone very intentionally, and he waited to the end of the day, which is interesting to me. Like our other guy, Luigi, went early in the morning, you know, so it's interesting variations, but same targeted focus.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the car, Ed. This is the car that you were referring to. I got it from CBS 2 New York. So let's take a listen.
Brothers, and then continue.
This is, you were saying it looked like it was perhaps the bomb squad opening the doors with, it looked like some type of wire or some type of.
Yeah, they attached the cable to the trunk and put it over the top and towards the front and stepped away and pulled it remotely so that in case something went off, they weren't nowhere near it.
Let's watch this from helicopter footage.
Yeah, there it is.
And to make sure that no stone goes unturned.
See, they opened the doors remotely.
Because, you know, you still have that in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. So it's
That's
right
on
here.
the northeast corner of the building? No, intersection.
You see the cable? You can see the cable
to
right there.
make sure that no stone goes unturned, and to make sure that no stone goes unturned.
That looks like a Maserati. On the back, I could see and the Maseratis are written Maserati.
Spelled out in script, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like a Maserati.
And if you put your blue cursor in the center of the trunk, it looks like there's a hole there.
Right here.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, so not quite sure if that, in fact, let me see if I can zoom. No, it doesn't let me.
If you
Yeah, it won't let me zoom.
if you grab the screen and no, okay.
Ed, did they have the dogs out already when the officers
I didn't see
went?
a dog.
I didn't see a dog either.
No stone.
That'll be a follow-up conversation later.
So that was NYPD. People in the chat are asking, Ed, why are they doing that with this car? Can you take
because
that?
if there's explosives in it, and they're opening the doors and so forth, they don't want to be near it at the time they do this. So they evacuated that area and remotely opened the door and make sure nothing, booby traps there and triggers an explosive.
Yeah, it looks like he just got out and left his driver's side
door open. Yeah,
yeah,
he's like right in the street.
Had his flashers on.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's right in the middle of it's in the middle of the street.
Do you think he wanted to be stopped? Because it's really overt that he did it in that manner.
Well, we don't know what the traffic was like at that time. He could have been cars on either side of him and stuck in traffic, and he just got out and left his car right there with the hazards on.
And we got to assume that this is the bomb squad because
I hope so. I mean, I can't read, like you can see when you see the back of their clothing, they say NYPD, and underneath it there are two words, and I'm hoping this says bomb squad.
Yeah, this is a much clearer image than what we saw from Fox station, and it's brighter. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it on my high def monitor, and it is it's very clear and evident that this guy was on a mission. And I don't know if this is his car over here parked. This is Park Avenue right here. I don't know if that's his car right there. I'm just making assumptions because it's so far away. I can't really see it. There's a black SUV here, black SUV parked. Just unbelievable for this to happen. Yeah.
Excuse me. In one of the other news coverage, I saw ambulances parked in front of you. Everyone, well, some may not know, I worked EMS since I was 18 during 9/11. And we're trained to park, as you know, away from the crime scene. But we see the officers running in with their guns out. But I got to say, those paramedics and EMTs were brave because I counted 3 ambulances initially showed up to an active shooter, and they were prepared, and they don't wear vests, they don't have weapons, and they were parked out the building. Strategically, that's another conversation, but morally in that moment, they were prepared for whatever was going to greet them, and that's brave because they had no protection.
Yeah, many EMS though now, Sarge, are being issued vests and helmets.
Yes, but they have to buy them, which is another conversation.
Really? FDNY
Yeah.
is not covering it? Oh, boy.
Fire and some units, like the HAZTAC units, HAZTAC everyone, or like maybe terrorism, hazardous materials. But my partner, he's retiring next year. He's a lieutenant in Brooklyn. I just spoke to him last week, and he told me he had to go buy another vest. He has to get resized. They have vouchers if you submit for it, but that's another conversation. Not for now. We'll talk about the dogs, counterterrorism, and the.
Cheesy Mary says in the chat there were 2 canines we showed him. There was 2 or 3
Awesome.
actually that we showed. But I want to focus in on here because I don't know if this was somebody who was injured, but there was NYPD personnel walking.
They said they went into closets, rooms without windows.
Certainly.
Looked like there was NYPD personnel walking with somebody in a suit that could have been either injured or I just lost my spot. Let me see if I can find it.
For Ryan Lopez and I, and he wanted to talk with us almost in a therapeutic way. And he was just
Absolutely. Clearly still very heavy in and around this area as traffic, as the streets remain closed and the subways avoid stops in this area. It is a very sad night for the NYPD, who lost one of their own tonight to what appears to be a lone gunman.
Right here.
Who boldly and brazenly walked.
He definitely appears injured.
Yes.
Lone gunman. Who.
His leg.
Yeah, he's holding his leg, and it looks like 2 officers are walking with him. So here,
I think there's a tourniquet on that leg. No, look.
Right
Excuse me. Look at his pants.
Yeah.
It's tightened. Sorry, Ron.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Tonight to what appears to be a lone gunman. Who boldly and brazenly walked.
Perhaps good find.
Well,
yeah, we want to send out again prayers and strength to the NYPD and to this officer and his family. We don't know anything about him. I know we preliminarily have a name, but we won't release that until the NYPD makes that notification and releases it officially. But we send prayers and strength to his family and his loved ones and all of the members of the service. This is a tragic event, and for any civilians or anyone who's lost their lives to this senseless shooting here in New York City tonight, we send the same strength and prayers to the people who are affected by this, or shot and wounded, or God forbid killed. These are innocent people who are inside this building working, and that police officer was working to make extra money off duty. I did pay detail many times. I don't know, Ed, if you did that, but I did it. I worked in Target, BJ's. I worked in Manhattan as well. I worked at Universal Music. I don't remember the address. It was 300 Park Avenue. But I did many days where I saw Jay-Z and the crew come into the Universal Music with the pay detail, and I always wondered, what goes on here, So you go out there and you try to make some money, and it's just tragic when you have senseless loss of life.
So Sam M in the chat says, why would they have the dogs? Well, if the bomb squad responds, typically they're going to bring a dog if it's not a post blast, because you don't bring dogs to post blast. And then they would work the bomb detecting canine around suspect vehicles or people or whatever the case may be to see if they hit on explosives.
We lose him? Oh. Is there no volume?
No, I hear you.
No, I mean this coverage. Yeah.
I guess Ron had muted it.
Ed, not to be funny, I was just talking to a few people from counterterrorism. Just this weekend, look what I received, a tourniquet kit. And I'm actually I'm gifting them as gifts. And it's the outdoor but office version. And that's why I was paying attention, tourniquets, because a lot of civilians are now taking the training that you and I did because of these, you don't expect this to happen to an office, but people are becoming, unfortunately, through these situations, more aware. And
I'm going to the range on Wednesday, and I always carry a tourniquet wrapped around my holster.
Yes.
The NYPD is always there. And
I'm just putting the sound in the background. I had to just step out for a minute and take a call.
No problem.
I see Kristen's in the green room. I don't know if she's got any information. If she does, I'm just going to add her just for a second.
Okay.
Hey, Kristen, what's up?
usually they're on every single
Maybe she's just there just to be in the back.
Moderate? Okay.
Yeah. Well, not moderate. Just whether everything's good. So yeah, just a senseless thing, and we don't have motive at this time. Ed, you said that the Post was reporting, or CNN was reporting.
Oops, now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It wasn't that late in the workday.
Hi, Kristen.
That are still working at the office, and you hear
Okay. So Ed, you were saying that either CNN or the Post was saying that he allegedly had yelled "Free Palestine" or something like that.
Yes, it was reported on Fox.
Okay, gotcha. Kristen, you got something?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. One was coming out of CBS. They officially ID'd the gunman as Shane Tumura. And currently, the CBS New York is showing that there has been 3 officers who have been shot. One, of course, we know has passed away. And so far, it looks like 6 civilians have also been injured. No other update as to now.
It's interesting that you said that, because we are showing CBS New York right now. This is the live feed. So,
excuse me, Cheryl F said 4 people, including NYPD officer, died. I didn't hear about the other 3 passing.
I'm actually, and sorry, I almost said something else.
No, it's fine.
And I'm getting an update right now that I'm seeing. This was updated 1 minute ago. New York City shooting at the building. Officer among 5 killed, 6 seriously hurt.
Wow,
and of course, as they give the individual's name.
Wow.
all right, let's listen to this, because this was just 8:53. This was 8:53. So this is moments ago. CBS New York.
He said they went into closets, rooms without windows, and then they were escorted out by SWAT. He actually was standing here a short time ago and was figuring out how he could get back because all of his stuff is inside. We're right now at 53rd and Lex. I just want to draw your attention to all the police activity here. And we've been watching all of these officers work and thinking of that NYPD officer who was killed and the other one who was injured during all of this. 2 civilians were also hurt. One appears to be in critical condition, and that suspect, as you've been reporting, is dead. Police say they responded to calls for shots fired in this area around 6:40 p.m. at 345 Park Avenue. Again, that's for some people in the middle of their workday.
Ed, was it 6:40 p.m.? I thought it was
Yes.
After 6. Okay, so I was wrong with that. Again, everything is active and ongoing, and I was getting this information as we were having dinner. So 6:40 is the call for the shots fired.
We, a short time ago, spoke with a man who lives in the area.
An officer this evening.
New York. Look for much more tonight on CBS 2 News at 11 and anytime on CBSNewYork.com.
Absolutely. We're going to continue to follow this breaking news. But again, tonight, our condolences to the NYPD who lost an officer this evening. I'm Christine handle on this situation, and they feel comfortable allowing some of those people that were told to stay in place to actually leave and make it home to their loved ones.
And for Bistram, Jen, what are you learning out there?
Dick and Christine, just what a massive scene out here. That is the word that comes to mind. You know, as you mentioned, this happened around 6 o'clock, a little after 6 o'clock this evening. And when we first got here, Dick, there were several streets blocked up. We were actually at one side of the street. We were now pushed back to the other. We are still seeing emergency vehicles go down the block. But as you mentioned, what we know so far, at least 3 people shot, including a police officer. We are still waiting on official word on their conditions. And again, 345 Park Avenue, as we're told where this incident took place. We're told at one point people could have heard multiple gunshots on the first floor. That coming from a security officer who works in.
Ed, what are these officers doing with the cell phone here? He's holding something out.
Looks like he's photographing something.
And he's taking a picture. I don't know if this bag
looks like a gun case.
Yeah, that might have been actually the gun case that
came out of the trunk.
Yeah. Interesting. He's taking pictures of, it looked like a cellular device of some sort or something here.
I don't know.
Maybe that's the shooter's cell phone.
Yeah, because it's lit up. Whatever it is, he's taking pictures of.
Not locked.
Looks like there's a backpack there. I thought that was part of their gear, but no, he's going through it.
Wow. Right.
This is their equipment, looks like.
Oh, okay.
But there in front of them, this appears to be, as Ed said, a long rifle bag. And then here they're going through and taking photos of this stuff with the gloves on. Yeah, it's looking like a black duffel bag. No? Yeah.
You'd think it's his property. No, he didn't come in with a bag. Maybe it was his office he went up to and it was up there.
No. I mean, this is the car. So he exited.
Oh, that's right
vehicle.
outside the car. Yeah, they took it out.
Yeah.
And legally they could, for anyone questioning in this situation, yes, they can.
And workers inside. And within the last half an hour or so, we saw at least dozens, if not close to 100 people just walk out onto down 53rd Street from Park Avenue towards Lexington Avenue. As Christine had mentioned earlier, a sign that police had a handle on things at this point. But, we're still seeing the streets blocked off. We're still seeing emergency crews coming and going, and people just here standing around trying to figure out or understand what exactly happened here. Christine and Dick?
Jen, I know that you were at the scene when people started to file.
We tried to the other side of the street, anything you want to say, but again, they just kind of get out that building or just get out of this situation. As you mentioned, we have.
Ed, what do you make of this? Do you think this is part of the purpose bag that he's left there? I mean, they're paying a lot of attention to it, photographing it and so forth.
Yeah, I think, the license plates were Nevada license plates. When they ran them, it came back to this Shane Tamara. I think this guy might be a Polynesian. And if you go to the New York Post, here, I'll put this up here.
There's files there.
Yeah, I'll put it into the private chat for you, Ron. If you go to the New York Post, they have a picture of him. Looks like they got it from.
And there you go. So,
looks like some kind of ID photograph that they had of him.
Yeah, I'll go to the Post. I'll just pause this because I don't want to lose this.
Right.
So give me a second. I'll go up onto the Post and I'll grab it.
And they have a blurred out picture of him on the 33rd floor, unalived, next to his gun.
You don't have to say that, dead next to his gun. I know that I appreciate that you doing that, Ed, but you don't have to.
Well, I don't want YouTube to
yeah
shut us down.
The news said neutralized. I thought that was even more unalived.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. New York Post. Oh, okay. I have to go out.
I saw the Hercules truck, the big.
I sent you.
Yep.
No. I just didn't want to leave YouTube, but I'm got to.
No, I was just.
No, I sent you the link in the.
Yep, Ron, we've sent you a couple of links in the
private
chat.
I got it.
Well, then I'm just going to hide back away.
I didn't even see the chat.
Oh, that's what they were photographing, Ron. Now I see it.
What?
They were photographing his wallet with his Las Vegas Metro Police Department concealed firearms permit.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
And they photographed his AR-15, which seems to have a lot of blood on it.
That was a quick release.
This is the weapon with blood all over it. I guess.
Yeah.
That's bad. This is the gun used in the massacre. Was seen smeared with blood obtained by the New York Post. There we go. I'm going to go full screen with this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shut down this. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department concealed firearms. Yep. "27-year-old maniac." Yep, there it is. Change them out. Yeah, so the Post has all of this up there.
Look it up.
Yep, these are all the photos. Some video that they're sharing. It's just 40 seconds. I'm not going to play that. I'm told the NFL employees at 345 Park Avenue have been told to shelter in place. NFL has their own security there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that was quick to put that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You could see one of these cops with the cell phone right here, shadow.
Yep.
So somebody at the scene took this picture and shared it with the Post. Could have been security. Could have been someone from in the building. We don't know how they obtained this, but it could have been any.
It could be a worker.
Yeah, this looks like, inside on the floor inside that building, perhaps with the marble. This gun retails for $420. 27-year-old from Las Vegas killed an NYPD cop and at least 4 others and injured several others. And there's a picture of him right there.
Yeah, that looks like an ID photo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly is not this ID photo.
No, it's a DMV probably.
Yeah.
Or the private investigator's license.
Yeah. Press conference at 10 p.m. says Schmitty Schmack.
Yes.
Thank you, Schmitty.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Schmitty.
Thank you to all the moderators working heavy duty overtime on this one. We didn't plan to do this. I just went live real quick. New York Post has, wow, they're quick to get these stories out there. Here's a picture of NYPD early on in this thing, taking cover behind RMPs. You see several police officers, one with a ballistic helmet over here in the back on the back side of this car. You can't really see him well. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I told you about that.
Yeah. No, I know.
That's him.
Right
So
there.
this is the perpetrator down on the floor with the rifle next to him. Self-inflicted gunshot wound, probably to the head. I don't know. We don't have confirmation of it, but I'm assuming. But it looks like he's here in an office space with cubicles.
Hey, Connie E., where did you can you source where you got that information? Connie E. in the chat, can you source where you got that information?
4 shot, 3 dead.
I'm going to go to New York Post so I could see it closer.
CNN, she said.
No, the article you're looking at. What is that New York Post online edition?
She said CNN. She answered.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm going there now.
CNN.com, I'm assuming. Let's take a look.
Wow.
Too much going on here. Let's see. Let me just get the Google up. CNN.com.
Significant criminal background. That's CNN reporting that. Says he was born in Hawaii.
Yeah, you were right about the Polynesian.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on CNN. What was the what was Connie saying was reported?
That he was born in Hawaii.
Okay.
And the 4 people confirmed killed.
Shooter gunman tenantly identified as 27-year-olds from Las Vegas. Walking through the building carrying a gun.
Close to Rockefeller, Central Park. Hold on.
All right, so we're getting this as you guys are getting it. Again, this goes over the shooting took place at a skyscraper in a crowded part of Midtown Manhattan, just blocks from Grand Central Station and the Museum of Modern Art. 634-foot skyscraper is located at 345 Park Avenue. It takes up a whole city block, and it's one of several buildings in the city with its own zip code. The building is also close to Rockefeller Center, which is just a few blocks south of Central Park. This is the location of the building where the shooting took place. Let's see if we can just zoom in a little bit more. Yeah. Here we are, right here. Suspect had a concealed carry license for a handgun, sources say. Right. FBI agents
FBI
support to the NYPD. 26 Federal Plaza is right there. NYPD conduct a floor-by-floor search of a 634-foot skyscraper, New York City mayor says. Press conference, it's not saying that here, but we're hearing in the chat that the press conference is set for 10 p.m. It's now 9:14. Thank you, Kristen, for putting that scrolling ticker at the bottom. Appreciate that. Let's see. Go back to the posts for a moment.
I stopped looking. They started going to politics about people commenting. I don't want to read that.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Clicked off of it.
Yep. Here's the sergeant. So that's a regular patrol for everyone watching. Those are patrol officers and their supervisor, the sergeant. And now they're telling everyone to take cover.
No, back up. Everyone get out of
I
here.
mean, back up. I mean, the officers before. Sorry, Ron.
Yep. Just trying to direct everybody away from that location. Here's officers with long guns. Is that CRT, you think? No.
SRG? CRT? CRT. Or SRG.
Yep.
One of the cars says SRG.
Yeah, here's a lot of ESU trucks there as well. So
that's a SWAT team for those who don't know ESU, the Emergency Service Unit.
So it says here, Blackstone headquarters, live updates, NYPD cop amongst 5 killed. So now it's 5 killed, 6 seriously hurt as Shane Tamura storms Park Avenue building. We don't know if there is a manifesto, they're looking through his things on the side of the road, on the side of the street there. But this is a picture of him, the shooter. They're saying here alleged, but we now know it's him. Photos posted via the Post. And here's some live looks at the emergency services unit. They have their long guns here. Yes, these are part of specially trained emergency response police officers and detectives. They're highly trained and highly skilled in this type of call. So these are heavily armed police who have a lot of training as it pertains to active shooters and so forth. So they're on the scene. The NYPD, 35,000 plus members of the service. They're ready to handle this and ready to go and have multiple personnel that are deployed in a very short period of time to this scene. Sarge, you could speak more on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wanted to interject. Earlier today when I left my home, I heard there were some protests going on the east side on 1st, 2nd Avenue and 42nd Street. And I was exactly at that location. And one of our viewers is watching. I was with that viewer at that location, Tudor City. And I believe the quick response was there were extra deployments, extra police officers there today for these ICE and other protests, literally within a quarter of a mile of the shooting. So the rapid response was rapid in New York City. NYPD were always rapid, but it was even more dense with police officers today because of these protests.
Look at this photograph from Twitter from X Spencer Hackerman.
Barricaded the door with the furniture.
Yeah. Look at this. Couches.
Wow.
I want to see if I can get that full screen.
Adrenaline right there. Look at that. Wow.
So there's a look from ex of office workers at Blackstone barricading themselves in there to try to keep themselves safe. This guy here is grabbing furniture and whatever they could put up against the entrance into their office. How horrifying. But these are some of the things that were taking place.
Was he going after the NFL or was he going after Blackstone?
Oh, no.
A lot of people in the chat are saying Blackstone initially, and I don't like speculating, especially, since a cop died. But yeah, good question, Ed.
We don't know. We don't know at this point.
NFL's training right now. There's some big relevant news in the NFL community in the past week. I watched sports. So I was paying attention on Sunday night wrap up. So there are some relevant news within the Giants and Jets. If we're looking at different, motives, I don't know. I'm just letting you know for NFL wise.
Wow, heavy duty. So that's the latest. That's what we have. So this perpetrator shot himself, killed himself on the 33rd floor. He took his own life, cowardly fashion. We see that a lot in these active shooter situations. But again, the loss of life, we don't have the total numbers, but they're preliminarily out right now. 6 others injured, NYPD off-duty officer, and 5 others killed. So the number is 6 deceased, including the off-duty NYPD police officer who was working paid detail assignment at that location, 345 Park Avenue. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is going to have a press conference at 10 p.m. You could see it live. Let's listen to this.
51st and Park Avenue. Unfortunately, we had a shooting here with multiple injuries. The perpetrator, the known perpetrator, is neutralized at this time. Those who are in the building, we're asking you to remain inside as police officers are doing a floor-by-floor search. We believe, again, the perpetrator is neutralized at this time. We're going over to the hospital to speak with the family and loved ones involved in this incident. We did have a shooter with multiple injuries at this time, but the perpetrator is neutralized. This is Mayor Eric Adams.
All right, so that was just his statement on Twitter some time ago. It looked like it was still light out from Mayor Adams. Let's see what else he's got here. Been on the scene of the shooting in Manhattan, and we can report that shooter's neutralized. Okay, he hasn't updated it. So that's it. I'll go over to you, Ed, before we wrap up with your final thoughts on this.
Another horrific mass shooting. Prayers for all the victims. We'll get to the bottom of what's going on here. Why he did this. Hopefully we'll learn why he did this. And apparently he drove across country in that vehicle with that gun in the trunk to do what he's doing here. There's some people that are reporting here now. You may have an NFL connection because of the fact that he may have tried out for the NFL and didn't get in, or whatever the case may be. It's all going to shake out. Like all the preliminary information typically tends to be wrong in the initial stages of an incident because of the chaos that occurs. But as organization comes in and investigation takes fold, all the truth will shake out.
And there's a possibility that he could have taken a flight here and then got that vehicle here. And, maybe there's more people that are involved with him that helped him get these resources. But look, you can see people being taken out. There's somebody.
Look at the security guard. Yeah. Wow.
Back to that.
Can you play that back?
Yeah.
Had a shootout. He was already outnumbered to begin with.
We can only imagine that he may have been wearing.
All right, here it is.
3A, what you call level vest, But once we start talking about this type of ammunition, the velocity is, I'm a firearms instructor, and the velocity of people survive with this type of firearm,
It's going to be right to the
and
right
when you're looking
here.
at this now,
There's
we
officers
see
running
what
in.
appears to be video from earlier. We see police officers running
Just saw one
around. So this
running
would be
here.
video from earlier, perhaps right about when it happened.
Now they're coming out.
Christine and I were talking about the use of cameras. It's probably pretty likely that these cameras had already.
One in the front appeared to be the officer.
Pretty likely. Christine and I were talking about the use of cameras.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Yeah, you can see a
Wow. Yep. Ay.
Fuck.
Wow. Look.
Yeah, it's a uniform member right there. You can see the
Right
same
there.
uniform.
And the second, I can't zoom in where I'm at. Let's see it.
It looks like a civilian there.
Yeah.
Perhaps an email.
Lieutenant in the white shirt. Or inspector. Hold on, let me see. Yeah.
Yikes.
I'll close off. Can I, Ron?
Sure.
Or you didn't play more video?
Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit more, but
Okay.
you can jump out if you need to jump out.
No, go on. I'll let you play it. I wasn't sure if you were closing it.
I haven't seen this yet, so I want to see if there's anything additional. More personnel running into the side of this building. You can see officers here in this in these doors. These look like Ed, help me out. Push door, turnstile.
Revolving doors.
Yes.
Revolving doors, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So it looks like there's an officer there, gun drawn, officer there. So these men and women from the NYPD are running into this gunfire. And this is just a testament to how brave these cops are. These NYPD are brothers and sisters in blue, department we work for. And again, this is, just rolling this continually. This is arguably the member of service who lost his life and looks like a civilian being brought out, but they're continuing to go at that building and trying to secure all of the exits and entryways.
Excuse me, Kristen just sent in the chat a close-up, if you want to click on it, of the officers carrying out the MOS or the civilian. If you go in the chat, she told me to let you know.
Yeah, I don't want to show the close-up.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay.
This was enough, and we just happened to come on to this, but we want to respect their privacy. But that was like a far shot from it, and I didn't even expect to see that, so I didn't even know that was out there. But yeah, I want to just say again to our community, we thank you. This is our department that we work for. I spent 2 decades in the NYPD, Ed, a little bit over that, you as well. Amazing aunt as a sergeant. It just breaks our heart when we see any loss of life. And again, this is Midtown Manhattan on a 6:40 at night. You have people going about their business and working to provide, for their families, and senseless gunfire by this monster, for whatever his reasoning is. We'll hear more about it as the time goes by, but we'll continue to cover this and we'll continue to stay on it. And I want to thank everybody for being here, the replay viewers, the moderators, the super chatters, the new people who just happen to stumble across this. I want to just, again, send prayers, strength, and positive vibes to all victims of this heinous crime committed by this person that's up on the screen, to their families, their loved ones, prayers and strength. And that's all we could send at this time. Ed, I want to give you the final word, and then we'll go to actually Amazing Aunt. I'm sorry, I skipped over you. We'll go to you for some thoughts, and then the final for Ed.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for being here as always, for your support. It's beyond a show. It's a community here of love and friendship. And for all the victims and all their families who are finding out this news right now, it's the worst moment of their lives. And in these crises, being a native New Yorker and being through a lot of big events and crisis in New York, I've seen the best of humanity. And I hope that we can continue to build up not only our community, but the community where you're at with the best of humanity. And hopefully these crises will stop. But seeing all New Yorkers and everyone at the scene, police officers running in, civilians helping one another, really is what it should be about right now, and supporting one another. So my prayers and thoughts are with the families and everyone here, especially those who've shared that they've lost relatives in traumatic ways or had people who were loved ones who served in the police department or first responder. Thank you. And for everyday civilians, be prepared. Unfortunately, this is the world we're living in. I pray for safety for everyone.
It's crazy. Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Ed.
All right, folks, thanks for being here with us. Thanks for jumping on. I know you can go anywhere you like to get information on true crime and what's happening live these days, but it's an honor that you chose to come here and share your time with us. Prayers, please, for all the victims, prayers for all those affected by this terrible, terrible incident. Let's try to gather some understanding about what triggered this. See if we can learn anything from it, and potentially stop things. It's everybody says this after an incident like this. We try to figure out how to stop these things from occurring, but until we deal with the societal issues, it's never going to stop, unfortunately. And even if you take away all the weapons, all the guns, folks, the people that are hell bent on doing this will just find another means.
Right.
So,
Yes.
and with that, please pray for the victims. Pray for those that survived this. And as you saw in that barricaded photograph, those people are going to be suffering a lot of trauma. So prayers all around here, and please stay safe, stay prepared, and watch your six.
Amen to that. And there'll be so much more footage as we're seeing. This is my first time seeing some of this. This is from inside a cab of police officers running into the fire, the gunfire. And again, it's not just the New York City Police Department. It's all police departments across the United States, men and women who sign up to go in and do this job. They lay their lives on the line for our safety and freedoms. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the active men and women that are out there and tell them to stay safe. Again, as Ed said, and keep your head on a swivel. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you and God bless.